Okay, so I'm gonna walk you guys through just a basic thing for how to do this. So, you're gonna want to get your IDE. So that's gonna be like, let's say, 'cause this is Cairo, which is not available for everyone. But if you go to Cursor here, you can open Cursor, and you just download that from the web, and you just open it up, and then you get into this interface here. And so what you're gonna do is you're going to open project, and you're gonna open the folder where you have your project. So let's just pretend like this Cairo that I'm using is the same as Cursor. So pretend like this is Cursor. So you have your project open here, and all you have to do is you can use their inbuilt the built-in tools they have, which is the chat bot that they have, or you can use Claude Code within the terminal. So today we're using Claude Code within the terminal. So all you have to do that is open the terminal right here and hit New Terminal. To do the chat bot, you do this. You go over here and do this. So basically, to make this less uh, hard to understand, you literally just need to know English to do this. You don't have to do any coding to do this. So all you have to do is be able to tell it what you want it to do, and just ask it questions about its progress and stuff like that. So right now we're working on Claude Code. So if I go here, I'm just hitting enter to say yes to all the changes that it has. It's gonna run through all these, and when it gets done, we're gonna say, can you push this to GitHub, or can you send this to GitHub? And when we ask for that, you're gonna actually go in. Before you ask for that, you're gonna have to actually make the GitHub repo on your for yourself. So you go here, and let's say you have it as let's say this was the local splash team. You would go here to local splash, and let's say this was the local splash team. This is just my team. This is me. I'm gonna go here to new repository, and you create a new repository. So we're gonna call this one, because the one we're working on right now is called Nairo Electric. We're gonna say Nairo Electric. This is the second one in that list that you sent me. So I'm gonna do that. I hit create repository, and then it creates it for me. I don't have to edit any of these other features. So now it has created it for me. But there's one more thing you have to do. You have to go in here, and you have to create a new token. To get to this new token, all you have to do is click on your face right here, and then go to settings. Down to the bottom, it's going to be developer settings, and then personal access token, classic, and then generate new token, classic, and then password. Obviously, this just depends on what your password is. You're going to enter it in, and then you're there. And then you want to add repo and workflow, those two things, and then just make a note for it, whatever you want to call it, and then generate token. I know there's a lot of steps here, but ideally what you're getting to a point where you can just kind of type in English what you want, and you can just kind of create it from English. So you're going here, you're going to copy your token, and then you're going to copy also this HTTP thing right here. So I'm going to go back to Cairo, if I can find it. Yeah, so it's doing its thing. Let it do its thing here. Um, so it's gonna make all of the pages. It just does it all for you. You literally just say, "Hey," like here, what I said at the beginning was, um, Nairo Electric, can you make a Next.js version of this site that is completely unique and 100 times professional? The following features are what the site should have: floating widget, chatbot, blah blah, and it goes and it creates this task list here, and it just does its thing. You press enter, and I can show you how to get Claude Code on your system later if you want to go that route. But I'd say the easiest route is to go over here to the chatbot and actually do it here with the chatbot. So you're telling it what to do to make it with Next.js or whatever you want to make. Ideally with Next.js, it's what Vercel is based on. So you say with Next.js, make this site, and from then point forward, you just tell it what you want it to do, and just trust that it'll do the thing. If it doesn't, we redeploy and we do it again. There are as coming from this background, Duda is hard for me, but I can see how this could be hard for Duda, because it's just they're different and it's different backgrounds. So if you want to try a different strategy or whatever, let me know. But I'm available to teach you or teach anyone how to do this, basically, within reason. Obviously, there are some steps to it, but a lot of it is just trusting that the system will do it for you, rather than just freaking out that it's not gonna that your coding is not gonna be up to par, basically. So let's say that we just okay. Well, actually, let's let this all. So just kind of let this do its thing. Um. So yeah, 1 second. Build homepage. Okay. And if you wanted me to go in detail about, what these files do and stuff like that, I mean, I've been doing this for years now. I still don't know everything about this yet. But if you want to go into detail about what these things do, we could go into detail. Usually I do this on an as needed basis. So if I want to know, like, let's say I just want to know what this file does, I would look that up. I would say, what does the file.svg in the public folder do? And it would explain that for me. But that can take a long time to become fluent in all of that stuff. It's quite complex and it changes every day. But like for instance, the package.json right here, if we pull this terminal down, this is all of your dependencies that help drive your project. So if you have React is a certain framework that you're using within the Next.js. 3 is a framework for adding 3D animations. So there's all kinds of different things that you add. ESLint is for linting, which is basically like making sure your code is structured correctly so that the next person can read it easier and the compiler can read it easier. So there's a bunch of stuff like that. And it's not worth it in the first go to learn all that stuff because you're not going to need it. You just need the English part to do it. Um, so that they call this vibe coding, and I think that I like to call it AI pair programming because I come now that I've learned more, I'm almost like helping the AI more than it's helping me, but for sometimes it's both. So, but as a starter, this is called vibe coding essentially. Uh, let's see here. Okay, next. Just give it some time here. And so obviously this first run it's going to take a while because it's got to make all the basic pages for you. Then once you get the structure, it'll be easier to actually to do those single changes for each thing that you want to do it for. Let's say if we just cancel this now, so we can do the rest later. I'm gonna say, here's what you do. You go in here and you say, copy this. Go in here and say, can you push this to GitHub here? So I give it the link and then I go into here and get the token, copy the token, add the token. You can say, here's the token, or just copy the token, just have it with the link and the token. Hit enter. Okay, it's gonna push the project to GitHub. So when I go back here, let's see. So it has to run git init, which initializes the project, git add, which adds all of the files, git commit, which commits the files, and then git push, which pushes the files. This is git commit. Git branch the m, git remote add origin. So yeah, we do this. So it just pushed to GitHub, which is fantastic. We go back here, we can refresh this, and it should show, yeah, and here's the file, here's the project in GitHub. So now that you have that in GitHub, you have to go to Vercel. So we have that for you guys here, your Vercel account, and we're gonna use your new one that you shared with me, which is not here. It's here, the local splash team. And I go here and I go add new project. And then it's linked to my Git account. So I'm gonna go from my Git account, and you can link to any Git account. So I have different ones here, but we go to Electric, which is the new one, import, and all of this should stay the same if it's a Next.js project. So all this is the same. It's a Next.js framework. It starts from the root directory. All this is already done for you. So you have the project name, and you just hit deploy. And ideally, it should work. Now, if there are errors, I have to show you how to do that because that is another part of doing this is fixing the errors. But for the most part, if you're building basic sites, they shouldn't have too many errors or any errors. It's going to take a little while to do all the dependencies, the things I talked about from the package.json and the dependencies like ESLint and stuff like that. So it has to deploy or it has to build those, which takes time. So okay, so we have our first error. So we have an error here saying, what is it saying? Okay, so you tried to import site config from here. So like I said, if this is obviously hard to do because it's code, but it's saying that you tried to import here and it didn't, there was some error. So you don't need to know how to do this. All you have to do is to copy that and go back into your thing. And remember, you're treating your chatbot here like a pair programmer. So it knows all the stuff that you don't know. So it's teaching you how to do this. And so what we're gonna do here is say, hey, I'm getting these errors on Vercel deployment. So just tell it, just if you want to learn, like obviously the idea is that you start learning how to code yourself from doing this, but the idea is that you're having it do this for you, and you're just prodding it to do its thing. So say I'm getting these errors on Vercel deployment. So you go here and you copy, paste. And so I pasted that in. I might have pasted too many of those in. Let's see here. I think it's taking a while because it's 200 lines, I think. Yeah. I might have done it 3 times. 1 second. So it takes time to paste this stuff in. Otherwise, you just paste it in here in your chat bot. So, okay. I think it pasted 3 times. Yeah. So we're gonna undo all those other ones except the first one. So it's getting those errors. All we have to do is say that. And I think the reason it's getting those errors is because we hadn't added those modules yet. From when I stopped the deployment early, it hadn't added those yet. So it'll actually go through and do this whole thing for you. You just need to basically tell it what you want, plug the errors in, and keep doing that over and over again to get what you want. It's not too hard if you actually think deeply about it. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. Yeah. I just want to see you. I want to show you just getting the site up and running, so you can say, okay, that's how I do it, and then you just rinse and repeat. Every time you want to make changes, you tell it what you want it to do, and you say push to GitHub, and it'll just push to GitHub, and it automatically deploys to Vercel, and then it just you keep doing that over and over again until you get exactly what you want. We could have another training about actually like back end stuff and like hooking it up to different things. But like I said, most of it you can just tell it what you want and it'll tell you what to do. If like something you have to go get something like you have to go get you have to go make a Supabase account or something, it'll tell you what to do. So it is literally your pair programmer. It was you just instead of treating the AI like looking up restaurants or things, you're treating it like a programmer that can help you teach you to program. So yeah, it's gonna commit those changes. Yeah. And then it should have pushed those as well. Okay. So it pushed all those changes, and now if we go back here, uh, we're gonna redeploy again. I'm gonna try it again. So it's gonna do its thing again. Give it some time. Okay, so it did its thing here. Let's see. It's got more errors, but I think we're getting closer. Copy these errors back in. Say more errors here. Okay. So yeah, just keep doing its thing here. So after this, if you want, I can. When I share this video, I'm going to share a link to download Cursor and Claude, so you guys can get started doing that as well. Um, I also talked to Vercel, and I think it's like around 10 to 15,000 would be the range that yearly. So that would be like maybe around 1,000 a month for to do this as a enterprise software, so that you can have those 500 clients or whatever. So it's a pretty good deal. I don't know what you pay for Duda, but you might pay less for Duda. But this is just kind of like a better way to do it, in my opinion. From like it's more it's code, so it's actually the origins of the stuff itself. So, but in terms of ease of use and actually having pretty good features, Dude is good as well. But this is what I do. I do it this way. This is how I learned to do this. So. Okay, so it's gonna add those changes right here, step by step logging. Okay. Okay, so it pushed its changes. Now I go back here, refresh this page, the Vercel page, and you're gonna try to deploy it again. So we're gonna hit deploy again now. You just keep doing this until it works. So actually, let's see here. If I go back, it might have already created that. So if I go click out of this, I go to overview, I go to the team, the local splash team, and I see we already have the Nairo Electric project. So let's see here. If I go here, dismiss, and I go to deployments, I can see it's trying to deploy again right now. It's at 27 seconds, so it might be making good progress. And it didn't. It failed. So we click on it, and we go to the logs. Let's see. Actually, right here, we see we have only one error left, which is this const icons record string JSX element. Like I said, you don't. If you want to if you want to learn this stuff, you can learn it. But if you don't want to learn it, you don't have to. So you can just copy this error in, and you're gonna say one more error or whatever you want to say, and you paste that in.